Well, you can't know. You weren't there. You know, that's really easy to say, but did you actually think that one all the way through? Pretty much all of us just assume too much, I think. I mean, everybody's going to have their own personal bias on any kind of situation because of their own previous experience. Obviously, it's part of what makes us who we are. But at the same time, reasonable judgments aren't based on that, but they're based on the actual evidence that is available, right? Now, of course, everyone is going to, kind of fill in the gaps whenever they can. I mean, you kind of have to. But too often, I think people just read way too far into what may not even be there. Because it is true that you don't know, nor do I, and therefore you can't take your own personal biases and fill in whatever gaps you want to in any story that you're listening to and trying to judge. I don't know about you, but I don't assume that someone's lying for literally no reason. I mean, it's reasonable to draw inferences, reasoned inferences, and maybe even only from implications, but you shouldn't swing too far in that direction and make unfounded assumptions, because there's a difference between a wild assumption and a reasoned inference. You will never know. Any situation that you're involved in, you will never know the exact situation. After all, if someone flips a coin, can you tell me how many times it rotated in the air? I'm sorry, but there is a degree of reality that we as human beings are simply removed from. And especially when a situation includes another person, even if you are personally involved in it, there's a whole half of that situation that you can't fully understand because, sorry, but language is flawed and we cannot transmit raw thought. And so we can't fully understand each other ever. And of course, if you're trying to judge a situation with 20/20 hindsight, then yeah, you're an armchair quarterback, more or less. You're just coming and judging the situation later on, right? Well, maybe not, because the question is whether or not you're trying to actually judge the person in the situation or the situation itself. If you're trying to judge a person for the way they acted in a certain situation and you haven't actually gone through that situation, then there's a huge difference between being able to intellectually understand that situation in hindsight and understanding it on a visceral emotional level because of having experienced it. So you can be completely justified in trying to be an armchair quarterback depending on what you're trying to judge. So, getting back to the point, well, you can't really know. Duh! Fucking duh! Now that we've gotten the obvious premise of reality out of the way, can we please get back to having a conversation based on the actual available evidence and what we do know? Long days and pleasant nights.